In the headlines, 9 political parties submit presidential nomination forms to EC for 2016 elections.
GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi elected onto FIFA Executive Council.
A very good evening and welcome to our studios. This is the news live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Akmene Avo Ajaja.
And my name is Evans Echampon.
On the campaign trail this evening, the presidential candidate for the PPP, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, has announced his readiness to introduce new ways of fishing when elected as president.
On a campaign tour of the Western region, Dr. Indum said improving the fisheries sector will boost economic growth.
At a rally to introduce the parliamentary candidates for Shama constituency, hundreds of enthusiastic party faithfuls and sympathizers chanted songs of PPP to welcome Dr. Indum at Abuazi, a fishing community. Dr. Indum said he is proud of the party's ideologies and its plans to win the upcoming general elections. He asked the people to vote wisely for the PPP in December and avoid listening to empty promises from other political parties who have failed the country. According to Dr. Indum, the PPP government will ensure youth unemployment is reduced drastically. Dr. Indum introduced Dr. Joseph Isuman as the parliamentary candidate for Shama constituency. Dr. Isuman is a lecturer at the Takrady Polytechnic. At Abransa, Dr. Indum interacted with some of the party members. The chief of the town, Nana Kwabna Anobi, enumerated some of the challenges facing them and asked the presidential candidate to put the town on its agenda when voted into power. Dr. Indum said he is ready to make Ghana a better place with the creation of jobs.
Also, a state of the race, 9 political parties on Thursday filed their presidential nomination forms to contest the December polls. They are the NPP, UPP, APC and UFP, IPP and NDC, NDP, GFP and the RPD. The EC chairperson, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, received the forms and said the commission is not accepting the filing fees pegged at 50,000 Ghana cedis because of the interlocutory injunction filed by the PPP.
The Electoral Commission has officially begun receiving completed nomination forms from presidential aspirants. The MPP was the first political party to kickstart the process. The team, made up of the flag bearer Nana Akufo-Addo, Mr. Freddie Blay, Otiko Jaba and Mr. John Boedu, presented their form to the EC chair.
If there's an interlocutory injunction on the collection of fees, filing fees for both parliamentary and presidential, it is well within the law for the electoral commissioner or the chairperson to say that she's waiting for the court to determine. But we think that yes, as we wait for the court to determine, we can even putting it in an escrow account as we wait for the court to determine.
Next was the United Progressive Party, UPP. The founder, leader and presidential candidate of the party, Akwesi Odayo-Dike, said he has declared his assets in line with the EC requirements. They were followed by the APC. The running mate, Mr. Emmanuel Karbatels, filed on behalf of the flag bearer, Hassan Ayariga. Nana Jini Boateng of the UFP followed suit. Next was the Independent Presidential Party, Kofi Apalu. The NDC team was headed by the Vice President, Kwesi Mr. Arthur, and the General Secretary, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, as well as other party officials. After successfully submitting their nomination forms, they addressed party supporters who had thronged the EC headquarters.
I want to declare that we have complied with all the requirements.
The President wishes me to assure members of the NDC that he's going to start a robust campaign that will discuss the issues that face our country in the coming years.
Nana Krondo Ajimai Rawlings of the NDP also took her turn.
It just gave you the page to sign and fill, which we did. So it's only here that they are saying it should have been signed in front of them. So it's not part of the regulation. I don't know who you are, but it's not part of the regulation.
Ekwia Donko of Ghana Freedom Party, GFP, who was in the company of her husband, was not left out. The final party for the day was the Reformed Patriotic Democrats, RPD, in the person of Mr. Kwabena Eje. Presidential candidates were expected to pay a filing fee of 50,000 Ghana cedis and 10,000 Ghana cedis for parliamentary candidates. Mrs. Osei said the commission will take a decision on the filing fees after determination of the case by the court in view of a suit filed by the PPP. 23 presidential aspirants picked up forms made up of 16 political parties and 7 independent candidates. The EC says they will look through the documents filed by each political party and notify them of their acceptance. With 9 out of the way, it is expected that the rest will take their turn. The deadline for the submission of nomination forms is Friday, the 30th of September at 5 p.m. For GBC24, Shelley Bewa reporting.
And as the country gears up for the December polls, persons with disability have added their voices to calls for peace before, during, and after the polls. They made a call at the Ghana for Peace Summit in Accra.
The Here for Peace H4P organization is committed to promoting the interests of persons with disability in the country. In the 5 years of its existence, the organization has instituted several national projects such as television talk shows and inter-schools disability fun games, which have afforded persons with disability a platform to be full and equal participants in all aspects of society. In the run-up to the December polls, the Here for Peace organization is courting assistance for the disability community to ensure that they are not disenfranchised in any way regarding the growth of the country. The Ghana for Peace Summit is one such initiative. The summit brought together presidential candidates and representatives of 7 political parties, the EC, security agencies, and civil society. The commandant of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center, Air Vice Marshal Griffith Santrofi Evans, cautioned Ghanaians against becoming direct or indirect instruments of tension in the elections, but rather be peace ambassadors in their various fields of endeavors. The leaders of the Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism, the Ghana Blind Union, the Ghana Association for the Deaf, and the Ghana Society for the Physically Disabled appealed to the numerous political parties to ensure that the elections are devoid of violence. They emphasized that persons with disability are the worst affected in the event of violence. The officer in charge of the Gender and Disability Desk of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Gloria Nutako, outlined the provisions made by the EC to ensure that persons with disability are not disenfranchised during the elections, and called on all stakeholders to ensure that the elections are free and fair.
Still news are live on GBC24. In some more stories, Ghana is the fourth after South Africa, Nigeria and Rwanda to roll out the bus rapid transport BRT services in Africa. After a trial operation on Monday, management of the services have taken journalists on to experience and learn how the system operates.
Some commuters within the Accra metropolis on Monday morning boarded the newly introduced Accra bus system, christened Ayalolo, free of charge. The new bus system is under the Bus Rapid Transport BRT service. The test run is only on one of the 4 routes designated under the BRT service, Amasaman through Achimota to Circle, then to Tudu, at the Central Business District. Management of the service took the media through the basic key components of the system, after which they were taken on a ride from the Achimota bus terminal to Tudu and back. Some features on the bus include a free Wi-Fi and USB charging unit for passengers on board, an electronic fare collection system, designated post for the disabled, pregnant, obese and mothers carrying babies. The buses also have a bus priority at critical intersections and sections on the roadway with designated BRT lanes. The BRT services is aimed at ensuring a reduction in travel times along the corridor, especially during the normally congested morning and evening peak hours, with a queue jumper known as contraflow bus lanes.
All traffic going that way will only use the outer lane, but this lane will solely be for the bus, and they will bypass all of this traffic and go straight up.
Following some concerns raised after the pilot exercise on Monday, the Chief Executive of GAPTE, operators of the BRT services, Mr. Samson Jamra, addressed the concerns.
The buses have already been insured. The issue was getting the registration numbers so that we could then affix the insurance stickers on the buses. The buses have been insured. The registration process, as I told you, was ongoing. We've been able to register a couple of the buses now, and we will complete the registration of the first 38 buses that we need to start the commercial operations by close of day today.
He explained that the test run was to enable the drivers to have a feel of how the system works and also give them the opportunity to learn and correct some of the challenges that may come up in the line of duty.
This pilot is giving us all the learning experience for us to expand this to the other corridors in the network, so that by the time we finish with the vision, we will have a comprehensive network of transport, public transport operations that has the kind of quality that will encourage people to leave their vehicles at home and patronize the public transport system.
The project, which is currently on pilot basis, will later be extended to other parts of the country. Miriam Adomako Boateng, GBC24, Accra.
Now, a former rector of GIMPA, Professor Stephen Ade, is calling for an enhancement of the capacity of academia to carry out relevant research tailored to suit the needs of the country. In an address to a consortium of academic and research libraries in Ghana, Professor Ade said knowledge is a pivotal driver of economic and social development, and research has become critical in a technological era where access to information is just a click away.
The world of libraries and information centers have become more sophisticated and dynamic with the advent of information communication technology, ICT. The Consortium of Academic and Research Librarians in Ghana, CALI, was founded in 2004 to provide access to online resources and training for members. Now, CALI intends to enhance the skills of its members to steer socio-economic development on the African continent through research. The second CALI conference drew about 50 researchers and librarians from various tertiary institutions to share new ideas on knowledge management. The head of Computer Science Department at the University of Ghana, Legon, Dr. F.A. Katriku, called for the strengthening of computer science departments at the various tertiary institutions to support knowledge management.
In this country, there is not a single research institution or center dedicated to computer science research. Government should consider, as a matter of urgency, setting up a national center for computer science and information technology research to provide the solutions to the problems the nations encounter in the field of IT and to help maximize the knowledge that we create.
Professor Stephen Adai said, as a developing knowledge-based economy, it is time to conduct our own research aimed at solving our problems instead of relying on other countries.
We are not doing adequate research, and when we do it, we are not managing the information and bringing it into the public domain. A time has come that has to be a quantum change in the attitude of both our policymakers and the leaders of academia and research to realize the importance of knowledge management and to lift it to the level that it deserves, not only in the economy, but more so in the academy.
Dr. Joel Sam, chair of CALI Management Committee, said, to date, lack of adequate funding to acquire the needed logistics is impeding the transition process. The switch from information management to knowledge management will help Ghanaians access the right knowledge at the right time and put scholars on a higher pedigree. For GBC24, Shirley Bewa reporting.
It's News Hour live here on GBC24 and GTV. We take a quick break here and return with business.
That was the resounding call heard from the far reaches of the northern region when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took the first phase of his 2016 campaign drive to his home region, where he was received with the Heroes Welcome. The tour took the president to communities like Gushegu, Salaga, Bandai, Bembela, Wolensi, Yendi, Gushegu, Zabzugu, Tatale, Mion, Namton, and Triponi. He was followed by huge masses of supporters and sympathizers draped in the red, white, black and green NDC colors, painting the streets with the colors of victory. When he visited the Bembeura of Salaga, the Gonja people pledged their unflinching support for the president's 2016 re-election bid, a reflection of a wider national sentiment to keep His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the helm of affairs. JM Twasso.
Hello again, my name is Morris Ogbete. In business tonight, the World Bank is projecting a 1.6% economic growth for sub-Saharan African economies for 2016, the lowest in the last 20 years. The bank attributed the slowdown in economic growth on the continent to a drop in commodity prices on the world market and tightening of financial conditions.
Economic activities in sub-Saharan Africa slowed to 3.4% in 2015 from 4.6% the previous year. A combination of external and domestic factors was responsible for the slowdown. External factors included lower commodity prices, a slowdown in major trading partners, and tightening borrowing conditions. Domestic factors included political instability and conflict and electricity shortage. At start of the 2016 financial year, the bank projected that GDP growth will pick up to 4.2% as commodity prices stabilized and supply constraints ease. But the bank has reviewed its earlier stance and has pegged the economic growth for Sub-Saharan Africa to 1.6%. According to the lead economist for World Bank Africa, Poonam Chauhan Paul, Africa must channel more resources into areas where they have comparative advantage.
We think that the adjustment to the commodity price shock will need to include stronger efforts to strengthen domestic resource mobilization so as to reduce overdependence on revenue from the resource sector. In particular, we think resource-rich countries would benefit from improving their non-resource tax systems. Stronger efforts to broaden the tax base, strengthen tax administration in our countries, and boost efficiency would help increase domestic revenues.
The World Bank chief economist for Africa, Albert Zulfacht, revealed that the dependency on commodity export by African countries will continue to pose a threat to sustainable economic growth.
Growth over the past 20 years has been commodity driven. And with commodities come volatility. All our studies show that growth has been extremely volatile in Africa because it's mostly driven by commodities. Countries need to increase productivity across sector if there is any chance to diversify. And increasing productivity across sector means basically investing in infrastructure, investing in skills that would position the population to take advantage of new opportunities.
The World Bank Economic Outlook report for Sub-Saharan Africa recommended that countries must take urgent steps to adjust to low commodity prices, address economic vulnerability, and develop new sources of sustainable and inclusive growth.
And still in business, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund has finally approved the disbursement of $116 million to Ghana. The development follows the board's completion of the third extended credit facility review on Ghana in Washington, D.C. The approval is seen as a further confirmation of the country's economic turnaround. The Ministry of Finance in a statement said the government will continue its efforts at fiscal consolidation. Now, the European Union is to review its mode of assistance to Ghana. The EU ambassador to Ghana, William Hanna, tells GBC24 that instead of the traditional budget support to the country, the EU will identify key sectors of the economy for investment.
The European Union's assistance to Ghana is pegged at around 500 million euros per annum. The Union supported the country's budget to the tune of 161 million euros last year after withholding support in 2014. This module of budgetary support, according to the EU ambassador to Ghana, William Hanna, is about to change. He says the EU will now select specific sectors of interest to invest in.
Our general budget support, we're not continuing that anymore in the future. So we won't be doing general budget support for Ghana. We've moved towards focusing more on sectors. We didn't get a chance to talk about those sectors today, but one of the areas which we've been asked to get involved in and which we think is really important is agriculture, particularly in northern Ghana. Northern Ghana, there is great potential for agriculture, but there are, as you know, there are a lot of issues about infrastructure.
During a media interaction, Mr. Hanna acknowledged the steady progress made in the Ghanaian economy. He commended government for clearing over 12,000 ghost names from the payroll, saving the country some 21 million Ghana cedis.
Well, I think it's been very much that Ghana decided to enter into this agreement. We were very much involved in it as well. To take a lot of important measures, structural measures, to change and to reduce the deficit. But I think there has been progress, and we have helped by backing that with our assistance, and more needs to be done. So I think the keeping on track is important.
And away from that story, two teams, Trotro Tractor Limited and Galani, are proud winners of the maiden edition of the Cosmos Innovation Center Agritech Challenge. The winning teams took home $50,000 each. The money is expected to help them set up their own businesses in the agri-tech space.
When Cosmos Energy launched the Cosmos Innovation Center Agri-Tech Challenge in March this year, over 100 young entrepreneurs registered for the competition, which started with an inaugural Agri-Tech exchange. After the first session, 44 entrepreneurs comprising 11 teams made it through to the next stage of the program. The teams had the opportunity to interact with farmers and agribusiness managers to collect valuable inputs. This was to help them to refine their ideas and create business proposals. 6 groups then progressed to the second phase. 2 teams, Trotro Tractor and Galani, who emerged winners, were on Thursday presented with $50,000 each. They will also be giving mentorship and training from the Meltwater Entrepreneur School of Technology to help them turn their ideas into viable businesses. The Vice President and Country Director of Cosmos Energy, Mr. Joe Mensah, said the company will ensure that the 2 teams put their funds to good use.
We are not United Way where we just give money and we turn our backs. We want to stay with the program. So once we bring it in, it's like a family. You become part of the family and your success is our success. And we will follow you through the whole process. And that's why we have advisors, coaches, and people that will work with them in the incubation space.
The winners of the competition are poised to make an impact in the agricultural sector.
When we were doing our research tour, you get to a community, there's a tractor sitting down, idle. The next community, or finding in the next village, there is a farmer or a group of farmers looking for tractor services, and they are not getting. That is because there is no bridge. So this is where we come in to bridge a gap. Because in actual fact, if you are a farmer and you are not doing anything more than 600 acres of land, there's no need for you to own a tractor.
We are targeting various agribusinesses, processors and exporters here in Ghana and in Africa at large. We have to hire experts in that sector who will help us craft out the plan. Our premise is providing solutions for the whole agricultural supply chain, not just a part of it.
The KIC Agri-Tech Challenge seeks to encourage technology innovations designed specifically to address Ghana's agricultural sector needs. Cosmos believes that investment in the agricultural sector will go a long way to improve the fundamentals of the Ghanaian economy.
We talk some banking now. Societe Generale Ghana has moved its services closer to the people of Dansoman and its environs. The opening of the new branch forms part of the company's agenda of catering for the specific needs of each community. The Dansoman branch brings to 42 the number of branches operated by SG Ghana.
Societe Generale Ghana (SG) joined the Ghanaian banking industry in 2003 after obtaining 51% stake in the erstwhile SSB Bank, which was originally founded in 1975. Since then, it has undergone a number of restructuring and name changes. In June 2013, the bank changed its name from SGSSB to Societe Generale Ghana, and this applies to date. The bank was adjudged the 5th largest commercial bank in Ghana as of December 2011. Societe Generale, which is a French company, currently operates in 19 countries in Africa. Its services include MoneyGram, Western Union, and Real Money Remittance Service. SG is on a branch expansion drive. Having now opened the Dansoman branch, the managing director of Societe Generale, Mr. Sionel Yu, pledged the bank's commitment to serve customers with innovative products and services.
Services will be delivered by a team of friendly, efficient, and committed branch staff who are ready to provide you with high-quality services. The opening of this new ultra-modern Dansoman branch, dear customers, is part of the Societe Generale Ghana's strategic objectives to bring our services closer to all our customers.
Head of License at Bank of Ghana, Mr. Emmanuel Bekoy, said Bank of Ghana is fully committed to control the banking system and to make sure that all financial institutions meet all necessary requirements.
Banks should invest a little more in relationship management in order to provide services to these risk-perceived firms at affordable cost.
Indeed, there's a need for steps change in the banking culture to shift from approach of lending to some few blue chip companies to innovation, cost-effective, competitive pricing of risks, and increased lending to the private sector.
A member of the board of directors of the bank, Mrs. Teresa Intim, said Societe Generale has a long-term strategy to establish customized branches.
The bank is currently expanding its branch network system to various strategic communities in Ghana as part of its effort to bring modern banking services to the doorstep of its clients and prospective customers.
SG aims to add more branches to its existing network in the coming years. The bank has a privileged lounge with a furnished hall and digital corner equipped with the latest smartphone and tablets. This is open to customers 24/7.
Let's go to the interbank market where the dollar is trading at 3 cedis 97 pesos, the pound at 5 cedis 16 pesos, and the euro at 4 cedis 45 pesos. On the international commodities market, oil prices jumped more than 5% to trade above $47 per barrel as OPEC announced a cut in output yesterday. A ton of gold, however, lost $1.50 to trade at $1,317 an ounce, and cocoa at $2,733 a ton. And that'll do for business. My name is Morris Ogbete.
Great NDC, the National Democratic Congress, the bastion of social democracy in Ghana ahead of the 2016 general election, has launched its campaign with the support of its over 15,000 strong crowd that filled the newly built Cape Coast Stadium to the rafters, with many more still outside. A jubilant affair, an affirmation of the people's desire to retain Ghana's illustrious John Dramani Mahama at the seat of government as the crowd chants JM Twaso. Speaker after speaker inspires support for the continuation of the Changing Lives Transforming Ghana agenda under the able stewardship of John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. The overwhelming support of the people that thronged the stadium is a clear demonstration that the party is united and the masses are happy with the progress that Ghana is seeing under the NDC, and the general consensus is JM Twaso.
Hello, good evening. Let's bring you some updates from happenings in the world of sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa to some good news where the president of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi, has been voted onto the FIFA Executive Council. Mr. Nyantakyi pulled 31 votes during the Thursday's CAF elections in Cairo. The president of Guinea Football Association, Almami Kabeli Kamara, came tops with 37 votes. The president of Madagascar Football Association came third, with the president of Senegal Football Association, Augustin Sango, coming last in the election. By virtue of the results, Amami and Nyantichi have been elected onto the FIFA Executive Council on the tickets of the Confederation of African Football. The newly elected members will only sit on the council until March next year, when another election will be held. To pugilism now, where former three-time world champion Joseph Kinkon Agbeku says he is in top shape to face Tanzanian Haji Juma. The bout is set for Friday, October 14 at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ahead of the mega bout codenamed Fight for Peace between Joseph Kinkon Agbeku and Tanzania's Haji Juma, the promoters of the fight, Fresh King Entertainment, have staged a media workout for Joseph Agbeku at the Bridge Boxing Gym in Accra. The bout, initially scheduled for August 27, had to be called off because it clashed with a gospel music concert at the Accra Sports Stadium. Joseph Agbeku will also use the bout to promote peace ahead of the 2016 general election. It will also serve as a tune-up for his two major bouts in the USA, which may include a major world title opportunity. Agbeku is going into the super bantamweight contest with 30 wins and 5 losses. 23 of his wins have come through knockouts, including his destiny-changing win against Luis Alberto Perez, which won him the IBF bantamweight crown in 2007. Juma, on the other hand, has 16 wins, 8 losses and 5 draws. Agbeku moved up to the super bantamweight division after defeating Colombia's Luis Melendez to annex the IBO bantamweight title in 2013 in his homeland. The journey since has been mixed.
I thank my team for putting this together. I thank my trainer for keeping me as fit as I am today. So far so good. Preparation is going well. I am ready for 14th of October for the big fight. I would say Ghana is bigger than any political party. Boxing is the only legal fight in Ghana. So I want all the youth, to come together 14th of October for all of us to fight for peace, because it's important to choose the boxing gloves over gun or knife or any other things. We should stay away from any form of violence and let's fight, let's do boxing and let's fight for peace.
A two-day special volleyball competition to determine the best teams in the Greater Accra region has been fixed for October 7 and 8. Dubbed the Silver Star Volleyball Competition, it will involve 6 male and female teams. The second edition of the Silver Star Volleyball Competition will be staged at the Lebanon House at Tudu in Accra. The two-day event will start from October 7 and 8 this year. The competition will comprise 6 male and female teams from the Greater Accra Volleyball League, who will vie for medals, trophies and cash prizes. Teams expected to participate are the Ghana Air Force, Ghana Immigration, Ghana Army, Ghana Navy, University of Ghana Warriors, and Holy Fingers. With the exception of Holy Fingers' female team, the rest will consist of male and female teams. The competition, according to officials from the Greater Accra Volleyball Association, is to determine the best volleyball teams in the region. Let's go to Colombia now, where Argentina reached their first ever futsal World Cup final by beating Portugal by 5-2 in the semi-finals of the competition being played in Colombia.
Christian Boruto opened the scoring for Portugal when he chipped the ball over the goalie, one around him to tap in. Portugal scored a second with a superb team goal from Ray. Argentina showed their effectiveness on the counter-attack when Damian finished off an excellent team goal. Just under a minute later, Alamiro guided in a fierce shot from Leandro with his chest from a close range into the open goal. Alan Brandy made it 4 for La Albi Celeste after some sloppy defending from Portugal. Argentina will face Russia in the finals on Saturday.
Do join us same time tomorrow morning for more updates from the arena of sports. Up next will be entertainment.
Let's do some arts news now. It was a night of live band music at the maiden edition of a night with female legends held in Accra. The event was to honor female legends who have contributed immensely towards the development of the creative arts industry.
The La Haze Band opened the show with some soothing high-life tunes.
Don't deny your right, just listen to us. Don't deny your right.
Performer Eli Baba also came in with a spectacular performance. Veteran musician Irama Bedu treated the audience to some of her all-time favorites. Efwa Dokenu was solid with her performance. Now check out the performance from Najeli. As the saying goes, the older the wine, the sweeter it becomes. Now Menua brought the crowd to their dancing feet. Asabia Cropper was amazing. Some legends such as Grace Naughty, Monica Kakukum, Grace Omabo, Mercy Ofei, Efwa Dokenu, Naa Menua, Esi Sutherland Adi, the late Efwa Sutherland, Irama Bedu, Najeli, former Director of Corporate Affairs of GBC Dorus Kuwonu, Veronica Kujo, formerly of GBC, and Asabia Cropper were honored. A legend dancer, Grace Jabaki, received her award in Grand Star. According to the Deputy Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Art, Mrs. Jifagomashi, the event has come to stay and will be organized every year. High life artist Becca closed the night with a stupendous performance.
Also in this segment, the National Theatre in Accra came alive with some thrilling acrobatic display from the Jiangxi Provincial Acrobatic Company. It was a side attraction of the event held in Accra to mark China's independence anniversary. Our life is sweeter than Annie was the theme of the night.
And that's all in News Hour tonight. We are most grateful for your time.
We'll be back at 10:30 with News Tonight.